Hey, it's Sean Reddy, Keller Williams, Reddy Group, Stats Geek Sean. And just like we do every Thursday, we're diving deep into the Denver Metro real estate market stats. These are next level stats brought to you by our friends at First American Title. And just like we do every Thursday, we are taking a deep dive into some, not all of these stats, just due to time constraints. So let's get right into it. And first thing we look at, odds of selling. This is a simple measure of supply and demand. And the higher you go in this number, the stronger the seller's market conditions that do exist. So just to lay the framework here, when you see the deep reds and the oranges, that's hotter for a seller's market. Opposite of that, when we get into the blues and greens down here, those are signs of market cooling. So if you're a buyer, you kind of want to see those blues and greens. So back to odds of selling. Currently sitting at 59.3%, down slightly over last week's measure of 61.6. And you can see we've been hovering the last several weeks in this kind of 60-ish% range after a scorching hot March, April, and first week of May. Odds of selling have come down since then. And part of the reason, this average daily active listing count continues to go up and up and up. So you can see in the February, March, April timeframe, on average, there are only about 3,700 listings on the market at any given time in a 7-county area. That's since gone up to almost 5,000 this week, which is the highest measure that we have seen the entire year. And I guess we'd have to go back into the week before Christmas to see numbers like that. Part of that, of course, new listings hitting the market. We have continued to see 1,200, 1,100, and even over 1,300 listings hit the market. Obviously, there's a little blip right here. That was a holiday week. Like I would advise clients of mine, don't list your home going into a holiday week if you can help it. So 1,300 plus homes hit the market last week. 1,300 plus homes hit the market this week. So we're seeing more average daily active listings with the properties that are not selling. Some of these we're going to skip over. I'm going to move myself here and hit the high notes. Pending sales is a big one too. When pending sales continue to be up over 1,000, that is a stronger market. You can see we had a couple weeks in the last 5, where pending sales were under 1,000. Still up over 1,000, 1,085 units went under contract, or homes went under contract this week. Closed sales way down from the previous week, but if you notice the pattern here, it's always about the first of the month or end of each month where you see an increase in number of closings. So still pretty consistent with some of these other weeks here in the spring and into the summer. Predictive month supply of inventory, that is another measure of supply versus demand. For context and framing, we'd have to be up over 6 months of inventory to be considered a buyer's market. 4 and 5 months is a balanced market. Anything below that, seller's market. So we're still very heavily in seller's market territory with 1.1 months of supply. In other words, given the current sales pace and demand, if nothing new hit the market, it would take just over a month for every property on the market to sell and go under contract. Skip over a few of these here. Total number of showings is a good indicator. That's a leading measure into contracts and subsequently closings. You can see we peaked out here in the March, April timeframe, over 17,000 showings in a week. When was that? Back in late March, early April. And holding pretty steady from the last week at just shy of 14,000 showings. Again, holiday week thrown in there. That's a little bit of a blip, but you can see it's been pretty consistent. That equates to 2.8 showings per listing, also equating to just shy of 13 showings to get under contract. Median days on market, and I got to accelerate here because I'm running out of time, remains fairly consistent. This, of course, only represents the properties that have gone under contract. The median days on market for those is 8. So essentially you have homes that are hitting the market and selling real quickly and homes that are overpriced and not selling at all. Price reductions. Looks like just shy of 30% of homes reduced their price by an average of $42,000 plus. And that brings us to a close here this week. This is June 15th. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.